So if I'm going to talk to you here, I'm going to begin at the beginning.
This is George Van Tassel, a strange man with a strange mission. George lives in the shade of Giant Rock, the biggest boulder in the world. Giant Rock Interplanetary Airport, saucers and aircraft welcome. It is here under the 100,000-ton roof that Van Tassel says he gets many of his communications from the spacemen. He told us that he was in contact through a process similar to what we call mental telepathy with the occupants of flying saucers that hover constantly over the Earth and throughout space. He attributes that to what he calls a magnetic vortex created by the rock.
The data that they gave me is all a matter of record, because it involves some 54 tapes, it involves 2 loose-leaf notebooks that are full, and it's been recorded for years, and it's a matter of record, and it was done in the presence of a number of witnesses who will all verify it.
Greetings from the station Altern I am calling to. I bring you your old friend, Marlintoy. Greetings and love to you there from the WQ9 convoy. I am Paul.
Krypton here. My brothers, the message to be relayed to you next is of great importance.
Greetings from the station Altern I am calling to. Torn up from armor up, extending the love of our people.
Santanas and Madara, Tabaraga, we have arrived.
My name is George Van Tassel. I operate an airport, and I'm also the director of the College of Universal Wisdom.
Well, this is basic research on a principle by demonstration that we can charge people like batteries. Now, of course, this sounds more fantastic than space people. And the tooling, the jigs are finished, and measurements by the thousands, which nobody can understand. The original principle, the original theory, the formula was given to me. It uses no external source of electricity. This machine is self-exciting, self-generating, and 4 stories high and 58 feet in diameter. There wasn't anything in the history of the world ever built like this. Is strictly an energy device.
Do you hope that a person might live to 300, 400, 500 years?
I believe it's entirely possible, and I think it'll definitely be a fact within the next 10 years to 15 years.
That people's lives can be extended?
Definitely. But theory-wise, we believe that this is going to result in the beginning of a new science that will be of very great value to humanity.
It certainly will be.
I don't generally discuss the technical aspects of this either at the public, for the public at any time, unless they come out there. Now, literally, the human body is a battery. The blood is a saline solution equivalent to the electrolyte in a battery. The only difference is that a chemical battery works backwards to a person. In other words, we respond from the electrical self to make the physical self operate. The spirit operates the body. And the blood, which has to be there, is the carrier, or the conductor, the electrolyte in the human body. So we're basing this on a principle identical in some respects to the principle of charging a battery, except that we don't have any electrodes to hook onto, and so we're using electrostatic magnetic fields and creating multiple wave oscillations for this purpose.
On August the 24th of 1953, they honored me with a visit at my place at 2 o'clock in the morning in the light of a full moon, which out in the desert is equivalent to daylight in the city. The man that woke me up introduced himself, said his name was Solganda. He would like to show me a ship. You can't approach their ships with metal on your person because it'll melt. The one thing that you do experience in approaching their ships is this tremendous magnetic vortex. He took me aboard the ship, and showed me around for approximately 20 minutes. I saw the method of power below the deck, the free energy motor running, the ship hovering there as stationary as if it was on a concrete foundation. Now these ships, as they travel overhead, don't make a sound. They are not subject to any gravity outside of that they generate themselves, any more than this planet is. Everything inside of that force field is subject to its own gravity on its own deck. They can make right-angle turns at 2,000 or 5,000 miles an hour, and you don't even have to strap yourself in the seat to make the turn. The ship, the force that turns the ship turns every atom of the structure of the ship and the people in it at the same time. Relatively, there is no effect of centrifugal force manifest by the people in the ship relative to the ship. Now that science has found out that these things they are more reluctant than ever to reveal these things to the public because practically every scientific book today in the earth is obsolete.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Van Tassel's theories about the flying saucers are so complex, so difficult to comprehend.
Well, first I'd like to have the public know that today I am considered a crackpot, and tomorrow maybe something else. Our experience in developing thought transference has made it possible to carry on an interchange of information with the people who are operating spacecraft. These very highly intelligent beings are all in human form. There are no monsters, brains, or ants operating the spacecraft from other spheres. The people and the ships differ in many ways, depending on the sector and location from where they come. Some of them are from our solar system, but many are from other systems. The space people were the first human forms of life to occupy the Earth. Their descendants built the Great Pyramid and compiled the records in it. Their basic information about truth is partially recorded in most of the sacred literature of today and is also preserved in the ancient records of other civilizations.
You must realize these space people have accurate records and have knowledge of their history back hundreds of thousands of years. Now, let me assure you that these space people have children just like we do. They don't manifest women out of ribs anywhere. And to their knowledge and their exploration throughout various portions of the universe, they have stated that they have found people wherever they go. And our inability to comprehend their high form of culture is not too different from their ability, because they said that they have found in space cultures of man so far above them that they can't comprehend it. So they said their exploration had gone into space further than our big telescope can see. And they think nothing of intergalactic travel or intersolar travel between the stars. Interplanetary travel is just a drop in the bucket. They have bus service regular between many planets. You must understand that man was created way back when. They have, as I say, they're accurate records they can play back as we do a tape recorder. Go back 300,000 years. They record in crystals. The reason we were called human is because their definition of destructive or destruction is Hu, H-U. Actually, the consciousness of your being never sleeps. It's always awake, and it's always aware. In many people today, it has become totally dormant. It is the sense above all senses, your sense of being, the fact that you are, the fact that you are you and I am me. We can never be part of each other in an individual way. And yet in the whole scheme of things, we are all part of each other. In the 12th phase of the third density that we are now passing out of, we are progressing into the fourth density, which they call life, motion, consciousness, and emergence. We are emerging into a new condition where we will discard the animal flesh filler of the body and become free. Those who pass the barrier and are qualified to enter that emergence condition. The only way that this can be achieved, according to them, is by living the Golden Rule. Now, the Golden Rule is a very simple thing. It only requires that people treat others like they want to be treated. This war condition, as I say, has reached a state where no country is in control. It is a mass hysteria in which madmen are loose. Some of the top physicists today that are progressing the size of these explosive devices are mad, and I have that direct from Washington by a source that is very close. You can look into their eyes. They have a vacant stare. Their only eating, sleeping, and living thought is to make a bigger and better explosion. And they are controlled by the forces of destruction, the same forces that invaded the planet Maldek, which is now a ring of asteroids between Mars and Jupiter. In experimentation there, the people on that planet blew up their planet, and the Confederation vowed that never again shall this happen in the solar system. And you can rest assured that they can stop anything that we do down here. They have full control at any instant they want to take over. They have 3.5 million of their ships around this planet. That sounds like a lot of ships, but it isn't many in their confederation. These ships run in sizes and types, which they said vary even as our cars, bicycles, trucks, and other forms of transportation. There have been many sizes, shapes, and types photographed. And the Air Force probably has one of the greatest files of motion picture and still picture records they have ever had in their history of these particular ships. Our astronomers know what they are. Our top government officials all over the earth know what they are. They know why they are here. The top hierarchy of all the churches of the world know what they are, and they know why they are here. The masses are in ignorance.
The one thing that the Air Force has harped on right straight through this thing is that we have no physical evidence. That's the biggest lie that was ever foisted on the American public. They have the physical evidence. We also have physical evidence.
I live the present, not the past or the future. I take care of each thing at each moment as it arises. And I think if we all follow this present living and forget the past and not live on what you used to do or what you used to be, but be what you are at the moment, I believe that everything that is taught in our schools today should be taught of what is happening now. Forget the teachings of the generals who won the wars and all of the past things in history which are not of any use in our life, and that the planning should be for tomorrow.
This is George Van Tassel, the receiver.